What she did after church. It was a Sunday afternoon in the heart of Suralire, Lagos. The sun had begun to blaze gently, not too hot, just warm enough to dry the sweat off the backs of the churchgoers who had just danced their sins away at Christ Revelation Ministries. Among the congregation was a young woman named Juliette Ease, dressed in a modest peach gown, Bible clutched against her chest, face beaming with deceptive innocence. Juliette had grown up in church. Her mother was a deaconess, her father was an elder until his death 2 years ago. Everyone knew the Eases. Everyone respected Juliette. She led the youth choir, taught teenage girls during Sunday school, and always shared Bible verses on her WhatsApp status. But there was something they didn't know. Something that made what she did after church that day so scandalous that her name was whispered in salons, street corners, and inside Kiki Napep seats for weeks. Before we continue, please, like, comment, share and follow me for more stories. As the service ended, Juliette offered a plastic smile to Sister Anita and hugged Pastor's wife, who complimented her dress. She nodded humbly and walked gracefully out of the gate, but as soon as she turned the corner behind the building, her pace quickened. She slipped her phone out of her handbag and typed, "Done with service. Heading to the spot." That spot was a short-term Airbnb apartment in Lekki Phase 1, rented by a man everyone in church assumed was just her business contact. His name was Collins Ojuwa, wealthy, married, and 20 years older. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and follow. The moment Juliette entered the tinted Benz parked 3 streets away, she transformed. The Bible went into the glove box. The gown unzipped slightly to show more skin. The scarf came off to reveal a sleek wig underneath. She took a long breath and sighed like someone escaping suffocation. "Did you miss me, baby?" she said with a soft laugh. Collins smirked and kissed her hand. "Always." They headed to the apartment. Inside, the Juliette who had led praise and worship just hours ago was now the Juliette who poured red wine, played soft music, and danced seductively in the man's lap. She told him about her plans to invest in skincare products, knowing full well that every kobo would be spent on wigs, perfumes, and weekend trips. Please click on the follow button before we continue. What she didn't realize was that she had forgotten her small black purse back at church. Inside was her second phone, the one her mother didn't know about. A teenage usher found it and handed it to Pastor Ao. Curious and worried, Pastor tried unlocking it, and to his surprise, it had no password. What he saw made his face pale: multiple chats with Collins, money transfers, pictures of Juliette in seductive lingerie, some taken on church Sundays, others even inside the choir changing room. Pastor Ao's hands shook. This was Juliette, the same girl who preached about purity last youth conference? He called Deaconess Ease. She broke down in the pastor's office. Please, don't forget to like, comment, share and follow. By the following Sunday, the news had leaked. Sister Adeabi swore she saw the devil in Juliette's eyes all along. Bro Daniel claimed he had a dream where she was surrounded by snakes. Juliette walked into church like she always did, smiling, humming at him. But this time, no one smiled back. The stares were hard. Pastor did not let her sing. During service, he made a vague announcement about wolves in sheep's clothing and the downfall of those who mock God. She was asked to step down from all church roles for reflection. Please follow before we continue. But the church scandal wasn't what broke Juliette. It was Collins. When his wife got wind of the story through a church member who worked at her firm, she stormed the Airbnb apartment. Collins, panicking, cut off Juliette completely. Blocked her. Froze the weekly transfers. Ghosted her. Juliette tried calling. Messaging. Nothing. She walked through the following weeks like a shadow. No more new clothes. No salon visits. No flashy Instagram posts. Just a girl with a broken heart, a dead reputation, and memories that wouldn't let her sleep. Conclusion. What Juliette did after church that day revealed a double life, one that many pretend not to see but quietly suspect. She had mastered the art of deception, until life caught up. The girl who once stood on the pulpit now sat at the back, head bowed, ignored by the very people she used to lead. Some said she deserved it. Others whispered she was just a victim of Legos pressures. But Juliet knew the truth: in chasing love and luxury, she had lost herself. And on the following Sunday, she didn't come to church at all. 2 months later. The echo of gospel choruses no longer lived in Juliet's walls. Her apartment in Surreylir, once scented with vanilla candles and littered with designer gift bags, now smelled of neglect. The flowers Collins sent every Saturday no longer arrived. Her fridge was nearly empty. The glitter had gone. She stopped going to church. Not because she didn't believe anymore, but because she couldn't bear the eyes. The judgment. The whispers behind her back. And worse, the silence of those who once called her sister. But life, as it often does in Legos, kept moving. Please click on the follow button before we continue. Desperate to reclaim a piece of her old life, Juliet fell back into old habits, this time with less caution. She met a man online, Franklin, who posed as a crypto investor and promised her quick cash and a soft life. She trusted too quickly. He asked for her account details. She sent them. He asked to use her account just for a transaction. She agreed. 2 days later, her GTB account was flagged for fraud. She was arrested at home by EFCC operatives. She spent 4 nights in a holding cell at Alagban. The cell was cold, smelled like old water, and was filled with women who didn't flinch when the guards screamed. There, Juliet learned a new kind of shame. Don't forget to like, comment, share and follow. Word of her arrest leaked. One of the EFCC officials, who used to attend her church, shared the gist with his cousin. In days, her story was trending in WhatsApp groups across Surreylir. That Juliet girl again, oh. First na married man, now na fraud. Her mother, Deaconess Ease, collapsed after hearing the news. Juliet was bailed out by her uncle from Anambra, the only relative who still spoke to her. When she returned home, the compound gate was locked. The landlord had thrown her things outside. She was 2 months behind on rent. Juliet sat by the roadside beside her broken mirror in torn clothes, her hair wrapped in an old scarf, wondering how a life so sweet had turned so sour. Please, like, comment, share and follow before we continue. One night, as she lay on a friend's worn-out mattress in Ajij, her phone rang. It was a strange number. Hello? Is this Juliet Ease? The voice asked. Yes. This is Mercy's Grace Foundation. We saw your story. One of our volunteers used to attend your church. She believes you deserve another chance. Please click on the follow before we continue. It began slowly. The foundation enrolled her in a vocational training program, hairdressing and skincare formulation. She was skeptical at first. What did she know about real work? But she was tired of shame. Of lies. Of men who only knew her skin, not her soul. By her 3rd month, she was mixing organic oils, making natural hair creams, and taking pictures in simple clothes, this time, not to seduce or impress, but to sell. She named her small brand Jules Glow Naturals. Her slogan? From broken to beautiful. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and follow. She returned to church quietly. Sat at the back. She didn't sing, didn't lead, didn't speak. Just listened. And cried sometimes. Some still whispered. But some, just a few, hugged her. Especially Sister Comfort, who slipped her a bag of rice and said, God still loves you. Final reflection. Juliet no longer lived the fake luxury life. No expensive lace, no Benz rides, no weekends in Lekki apartments. But her peace was real. Her joy was slow, but steady. She had lost her name in the eyes of men, but she had found it in the silence of repentance. Sometimes she looked at her old choir robe in the corner of her room and smiled sadly. She wasn't the same girl anymore. She was Juliet Ease, the woman who sinned after church, but lived to find grace after disgrace. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and follow me for more stories. Bye for now.